everybody, my name is Jocelyn Joanne, one of the first Phibrows master in the US, and today I'm going to show you how to do microblading in a step-by-step process. But first, let me introduce Phiacademy and Phibrows a little bit. So Phiacademy has been established for 5 years already, and because we developed the most natural Phibrows microblading pattern, so just in 5 years we expanded so big that we get expanded to over 176 countries already, and so there are like Phiacademies all over the world, right? And in the US, Master Danny and me, Master Danny is my husband, and me, we have the largest Phiacademy in the US, and we have trained to for over 2,000 students, and this is the award that we just won for being the best master of the world. And so I want to introduce a little bit about Phiacademy, and then the next step after that is how to do the microblading, the Phibrows technique.
Beauty industry today is based on maintenance and upgrade of physical beauty. Permanent makeup, microblading, microneedling, and other cosmetic treatments in beauty industry are skills that upgrade physical beauty and solve natural deficiencies. In order to draw a contour or shape on a certain place on the body, we have to be familiar with two very important things: position and design. Position is determined on the basis of morphology and anatomy of the face or body. And the design, which is the most important element of beauty, is determined according to the proportion. Creator or nature has always used the same proportion in creation of numerous events in the universe. In the pulse of our heart, in the proportion of our DNA code, in the special design of the universe, plants, animals. Proportion is actually a ratio of two lengths. In this specific proportion, when you divide bigger length with a smaller one, you get a golden ratio number, the superior number of the design, 1.618. Golden ratio on the human body and on the face can be found in many places. From your chin to your nose, your lips are positioned exactly on the golden ratio. If you divide the length of your lips with the width of your nose, you will get the number 1.618. The distance between your eyes divided with the distance between your eyebrows will result in the number 1.618 again. From the beginning to the end of eyebrows, the highest point of the eyebrows is on the golden ratio. Again, 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 and again. A 25 years long scientific research has shown that all faces and bodies that are in this proportion are considered to be beautiful by all people on the planet. Simply said, our eye perceives this proportion as something beautiful. Throughout history, many great artists and architects use this proportion to create their masterpieces. In mathematics and art, the number 1.618 has been marked with Greek letter Phi, on which we have added an eyebrow as a symbol of our first treatment in the Phiacademy. In that way, we have created a trademark which represents all skills in Phiacademy. Therefore, the secret of the beauty lies in the proportion of golden ratio. hidden in our heads and as old as the universe.
So right now I'm going to show you how to do a microblading procedure right now. Okay, so the first step we do is to make sure the tools are sterile, and we use disposable. For every client we dispose the needle so the clients can feel safe going forward with this. Okay, and then this is the client before the microblading. Next step, we disinfect the eyebrows with the alcohol or antiseptic. Then we use a flat pencil to draw on the eyebrows. And before drawing, we make sure we use a microblading divider to measure the eyebrows, to make sure both eyebrows can be even. And we divide the eyebrow into 3 equal parts. So the tail, we have the head, the tail, and then we use the divider to get the arch and to transfer the one eyebrow's measurement into the other eyebrows. This way the eyebrows can be even, both sides can be even. And don't forget to measure the length up one eyebrow and transfer that length to the other side. After we have all the measurements done, then we use this pencil to connect the parts together to complete an eyebrow. The good thing about using the divider is we can divide the eyebrows into equal parts, and then we can transfer that into the other side so both eyebrows can be similar. And we do the same thing for the other side. Then we use an app called a Phi app to make sure the eyebrows are even. The benefit of using this app is, number one, you save a lot of time because you can tell right away if the eyebrows are even or not. If they're not even, you can be able to fix right away. So that's the benefit number one. The benefit number two is your clients will trust you if you show them the perfect picture on both sides and you show it to them right away after. They can trust you. Benefit number three, you will not make one high and one low eyebrow, so the eyebrows can be even on both sides. So we use this app it helps a lot for our clients because we want to deliver the best to our client. And so the app will let us know if the eyebrows even or not. Okay. The next step after drawing is to make sure your clients do not feel any pain. We do that by applying the numb because your clients are afraid the most is pain. They're afraid, right? They don't want to feel any pain. So that's really important. You guys apply numb for 15 minutes before the procedure. In order to help keeping the shape, we want to use this dotting tool to keep the shape, because one of the most common problem is after you join the shape and then the pencil disappear, you lose the pencil, and then you cannot make even, you cannot be able to see the shape, and then you cannot make even eyebrows. So when we apply this dotting method, so you can be able to keep the shape, even the pens, you lose the pencil, you still can see the dots to see. So that's very important that we use this to keep the shape. And the blade that we use is very thin, like it's the thinnest blade available in the market. So this is like nano blade. Okay, so we this blade is patterned, and we use this blade because the blade is so thin that you can be able to mimic real hair. So it looks so natural like real hair, because the stroke that we make is so thin, it looks like so natural like real hair. It's really important that we use the correct blade, and Phibrows blade is the best. Like there's no question about it, because you can see the hair looks so thin. And you notice you don't see any bleeding, and the client's very comfortable, they don't feel pain, and that's what we want. We don't want them to feel any pain. And the pattern, when you check the class, we make the student memorize the pattern like one stroke at a time. So every hair stroke is planned ahead, so it's no guessing, like no going as you do, just every stroke is we plan ahead, so we know exactly on how to place every single stroke. And you notice the color is very thick. When you use thick color, the strokes stay there, like they don't like get smear, they don't get run out, you know. So you use just a tiny little bit pigment color, you can be able to complete the whole eyebrow. And we do the strokes on the head is different than the stroke at the tail, because we plan every strokes ahead of time. So, and this the student memorize the pattern when they do this. Notice when we get to the tail, the skin at the tail is thinner than the skin at the head. So you see a little bit bleeding right there. But the most important thing is because we numb the client already, so they don't feel experience any discomfort. And we want to do exactly like on the dots, to keep the shape, to make sure it's perfectly shaped like the way that we draw on. And we apply more numb into the strokes. we use the special stroke marker to help us see the stroke better, to add more. And more numbed. Then we mask the strokes that we just made with pigment with using the Phibrows. The good thing about using the Phibrows is the color get into the strokes that we make like fully filled, so you save yourself like at least half an hour time doing the microblading, and you mask it, then yeah. Now I'm going to show you a little bit about colors, okay? So have you ever seen the blue eyebrow look like this? How about red eyebrows? So why the eyebrow turn blue or turn red? That is because there is a reason for everything, okay? So when the eyebrows turn blue like this, it's because you do the wrong technique. When you go too deep, they will turn blue and gray, and doesn't it will not be brown anymore, and it doesn't look like natural anymore. So that's how people in the old days they do it like that, but we don't want to do like that. And the reason why the reason that the eyebrows turn red like this is because the color contains a heavy metal called iron oxide. Why do people put iron oxide in there? Because it helps the color come into the skin easier. But iron oxide is a heavy metal. It's not good for your body, and the iron oxide of the makes the red stays really strong inside your skin. So over the time, all other colors will be gone. Only the red iron oxide remain in there. So that's why the eyebrow turn red. So I'm going to show you a little bit video about color so you can understand the process.
As you all already know, pigments can be classified into synthetic and iron oxide pigments. These are the most common pigments used in permanent makeup. What's also well known is that all brown shades consist of yellow, black and red. The first difference between iron oxide and synthetic pigments is different stability of these colors. This means that after a while, some colors disappear faster, while some are more stable and are retained for a longer period of time. Here we can see that with iron oxide and synthetic pigments, yellow disappears the fastest. It disappears and fades equally with both. On the other one, with red color, we can see the difference. With iron oxide pigments, red is the most stable color and lasts the longest, whereas with synthetic pigments, black is the most stable one and lasts the longest. Both of these pigments have some good and bad features. With iron oxide pigments, red is both a positive and a negative feature. For example, its stability. Why is this good? A positive feature of red is that it gives the warmth at the very beginning for the next few months, and the negative one is that red will be retained much longer than the other colors, which will make the eyebrows reddish one day. Another bad thing is the presence of heavy metals in quantities that are not allowed, for example higher than prescribed by RESAP, and of course a negative feature of iron oxide pigments is that they are magnetized. When it comes to synthetic pigments, the synthetic pigments we've been using for the past year also have their good and bad sides. With synthetic pigments, black has its positive and negative roles. A negative role is that the eyebrows, for example their color, cannot look warm from the beginning. However, a positive role of stable black is that the eyebrows won't become reddish after a year or a year and a half. Another positive side of synthetic pigments is the absence of heavy metals and the fact that they're not magnetized. What also makes a big difference between these two pigments is their specific weight. Iron oxide pigments are much heavier, and that makes their application into the skin much easier. On the other hand, synthetic pigments are very light. They even float on water surface, and they are, due to their low specific weight, quite difficult to apply into the skin, and it takes a lot of time and a specific technique to apply a synthetic pigment. Our main idea was to combine iron oxide and synthetic pigments and to take what's best from both, positive features of synthetic pigments and positive features of iron oxides. So in our new SUP formula, we used red iron oxide pigment and yellow and black remained synthetic pigments. What did we get? The result is a pigment that has no negative or bad features. We actually have a very stable black, a very stable red, a loud quantity of heavy metals under the RESAP limit, a very simple and easy application into the skin. And what is important for us as artists, as well as for our clients, is that we can get a very warm color from the beginning till it disappears entirely. The pigments are also not magnetized, as you can see in the video that follows. As for the pigment's performance, we've kept the performance related to dilution in water. SUP pigment is very difficult to dissolve, and this is very good for color migration, for example, lack of migration under the skin. Another performance we've kept is, of course, that the pigment is not magnetized. The pigment itself or the fact it's magnetized is not something that can cause problems when having an MRI. But I personally believe that the pigment we apply into the skin must not be magnetized, not for this reason, because this wouldn't be a problem. I believe that something that enters our skin in any sense shouldn't be magnetized. With SU pigments, when opening them for the first time, we might have a few drops of separate oil. However, with new SUP formula, we have overcome this problem. Also, in the old pigment, we had a lower level of honey effect compared to the SUP. All brown shades used in eyebrow drawing contain 3 primary colors: yellow as sunset, red as warm effect, black as Arabian Night. Red, black and yellow make the brown shade, and this information is very important for us when dealing with problems with old permanent makeup that didn't fade to a brown shade. Since red the most stable colors, we most often have the situation that eyebrows become red after a while. Or grayish after a year and a half if black is the most stable, because black is seen as gray through the skin. In order to solve the problem with red old permanent makeup, we have to add a combination of yellow and black that is missing, since we already have red in the skin. By combining these two shades, we get an olive shade by mixing 2/3 of yellow and 1/3 of black. If there is some black in the skin, we see it as gray on the surface. By combining red and yellow, we get an orange shade by mixing 2/3 of yellow and 1/3 of red. In order to solve the problem with purple old permanent makeup, we only use yellow, sunset, without adding other colors. If black and red are colors happen to be the most stable ones and that they have been retained in the skin, and black has disappeared entirely, what we see on the surface of the skin may seem purple. One of the biggest misconceptions that exist in the permanent makeup theory when it comes to colors is the division of brown pigments or brown shades into two types, cold and warm shades. The aim of this video is to present and resolve this misconception. The same amount of yellow, red and black will give us brown color. Brown 2. Used only with natural brunettes. By adding a shade of yellow to brown 2, we get a lighter color, brown 1, used with natural blondes. By adding 2 drops of yellow to brown 2, we get golden brown. Used with extreme blondes. This group of colors that contain more yellow compared to the others can be referred to as colors based on yellow or yellow-based colors. By adding another dose or drop of Arabian Night, black that we call Arabian Night, into brown 2, we get brown 3. This is a darker variety of brown 2, used when drawing eyebrows on extremely dark women with natural black hair. All the shades that contain a higher percentage of black compared to the others are called black base colors. If we add red to brown 2, we get fox, the pigment that contains much more red than yellow and black, and it can only be used with natural redheads. By adding more red into brown 2, we get all the possible shades that can be called red base. We can see from all this that there are basic divisions of pigments. Colors can be divided into red base, yellow base and black base. Since there are no other shades in getting brown pigments for permanent makeup, we should not mention green, purple or blue, because these shades aren't used for getting brown pigments for permanent makeup. So there are only 3 basic colors by which we can get all the possible combinations of brown shades. In the middle there are 3 colors that make brown shades. These are yellow, red and black. By adding yellow, we can get the lightest brown. If we talk about yellow base, we add drops with the lightest shade, almost yellow, from brown to the lightest brown. Then from brown to black, if we talk about black base. When it comes to red base, we get all the shades from brown to red. By adding the same amounts of 2 colors to our brown, for example, the same amounts of yellow and red, we get an orange base color. From brown to purple, the same amount of red and black is not recommended for eyebrow drawing. And by adding the same amounts of yellow and black, we get an olive base color that goes from brown to olive green. Since this is another misconception, besides dividing the colors into cold and warm that we have already proved wrong, The skin is also often classified into warm and cold in permanent makeup industry. I want to remind you that the best way to see which pigments exist in the skin is to take a look of the natural hair color or natural eyebrows color that show the exact pigment we have in our skin in the best way. Since the skin and its color change during the year, it's not the same if you come to the treatment before or after sunbathing. We can assess the skin wrongly, and that's why I advise you not to look at the skin. The best way to see the pigment that exists in the skin is to take a look at the natural hair or eyebrows color. This means that by combining these pigments, we want to make our color as similar to the natural hair or eyebrows pigment of our model as possible. The most important thing and the most important factor for the final look of the color is the thickness of the epidermis, or the depth into which the pigment is applied. We'll represent different depths with two skin samples of different thickness. With shallow work or thin skin that covers the pigment, we see the color as very similar to the actual color. While on the thick skin sample, where we show deep work, the color looks quite cold, blue or grayish. Deep work, shallow work. As you can see, the colors are identical beneath. On the left, there's old SU formula, and here's the new SUP one. Besides the difference between these two pigments in terms of composition of pigments inside the bottles, SUP formula is more advanced in terms of physical performances of the pigment itself.
Phibrows, we have a total of 8 different colors. 5 colors we already mixed for you already. So every color you use it accordingly to the customer's hair and skin. And 3 colors, red, yellow, black, we use that to either mix the colors or to be able to fix the old tattoos. And these colors are comprised in the color just like this. So we have golden brown, brown 1, brown 2, brown 3, fox, and black, depending on your client's hair. So we use all the different colors for different customers. So you cannot use one color for all, but we have different colors for each different customer. And if you do it correctly and the color is so good, like Phibrows, you have fantastic heal result like this. Like when it's healed, this is like 5 months after the first procedure. It look like thin real hair. It doesn't look big or hard or thick lines like other places. So the color is really thin, and you see like this picture, it's like 1 year later, and you still have nice warm color that match with her hair perfectly when it's healed, even 1 year later. So the color is so good, you cannot go wrong with the Phibrows color. And this is another example of a heal result for the golden brown color. That's the lightest color we have for the blonde hair. And then we have fox for the people who have kind of like red hair a little bit, and then we have black. These are some heal results that we have. And this is a you can also do on old tattoos. Also, this is an example of the work on old tattoos. It can look natural also. And in the class, we will show you how to work on old tattoos. And you also must know how to mix the color to fix the old tattoos, so it can look nice and natural also. And this is another example of another old tattoos that we can be able to work on also, and you can be able to learn this in class. You can also see this one right here, that she barely had any hair, but we can also do for people who have no hair like this also, using the Phibrows technique. And we also, this is another example of another customer with no hair, and we can be able to do this on people with no hair with the Phibrows microblading technique. Another good thing about being with the Phibrows family is that when you graduate from the program, we make sure you do a really good job. So when you graduate from our program, we post up your works on this website right here. It's called bookingfree.com, www.bookingfree.com. So anytime a potential customer go to Google to search for microblading or Phibrows or Phibrows artists, this website pop up on the top, and when they click here, you see right here, all the eyebrows microblading artists, Phibrows artists, they show you right here how far away that artist is from you. So it's based on the phone's GPS location. So if I go to bookingfree.com and I see Ricardo's, it's a Phibrows master, he's here, but we have artists and royal artists here also. And if I click on a profile, I can see where he is on the map right here, and what courses he have, what kind of treatment he has, and his biography, and then the map, and then his works, you see. And if I tap in here, I can see his gallery, see. See all the works. So this way, even the customer do not know who you are, they can be able to contact you and trust you, you know. So this is new. So in the beginning year of 2020, this project will be finished. And when you graduate from our program, you also get yourself features in this website also. Yep. A lot of people ask us what is Craft Master and what is the online class. So let me go over what is Craft Master. So if you go to Play Store or App Store in your phone, and when you search for the app, you search for Craft Master, and you see right here, this is the app right here. So you just install this app into your phone, and after you install that, you just need to open it. So this is my Craft Master. I open this Craft Master into my phone right here, and after I open this into my phone, okay, so after you open this into my phone right here, so this is like a community of free artists and student, free family right here. So we're here to help each other, and you can learn a lot from this app. So this is all the works of all the free artists and free students that post right here also. And the good thing about this app is that another good thing I forgot to tell you is when you graduate from our program, you have your own logo right here. You see that Phibrows logo, and you will have a logo like this with your name on it and your own number. So right here like that. And then besides that, in this app we have a doctor fee available to answer your question, and we're here to support each other. You can ask questions in this app and we're there for you. So for example, you see like Dr. Fee, why does the before lecture say not to drink coffee or drink something like that? And then we have doctor to answer your questions right here. Anytime like your client have a scar, or your client is swollen, or the skin turn red, anything like that, you can still be able to have ask the question, and our doctor will help you, and this is a lifetime support. So see, we have doctor here to help you. We have Craftmaster support here to help you, and this is free for life. And besides that, on this Craftmaster, when you click, we have the lectures, the videos, the images, the pictures available online. So in case that you forget anything that you forget, you still have 6 months to open the lecture online, to go back and look at the videos again, so you can be able to remember. So if I go to remember another, I can still be able to see all the videos here again. You see, so for example, procedure online model. So we have a ton, many different videos working on live model for you to be able to see, so you can not forget. Okay, so this will help you a lot. And remember this, you have this Craftmaster support for life. Only the lectures expire after 6 months, but the support, the community, the doctor support here, everything is for life.